Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Greer Garson was one of the most distinguished actresses of Hollywood's golden age, celebrated for her grace, intelligence, and refined beauty. Born Eileen Evelyn Greer Garson on September 29, 1904. In London, England, she rose to fame in the 1940s as one of MGM's premier leading ladies. Her performances embodied warmth, dignity, and quiet strength, qualities that made her a symbol of British resilience during World War II. Garson was raised in London and originally pursued a career in academia, studying at the University of London, where she earned degrees in French and 18th-century literature. She initially worked in advertising and theater before being discovered by MGM talent scouts. Her film debut came in Goodbye, Mr. Chips, 1939, where she starred opposite Robert Donat. Her portrayal of the devoted wife, Catherine Chipping, earned her the first of 7 Academy Award nominations for Best Actress, a record number at the time. Her defining role arrived with Mrs. Miniver, 1942, in which she played a British housewife enduring the Blitz with courage and grace. The film struck a powerful chord with wartime audiences and won 6 Oscars, including Best Actress for Garson. Her acceptance speech, famously one of the longest in Oscar history, reflected her thoughtful, articulate nature and her deep gratitude for the recognition. Throughout the 1940s, Garson was one of the top box office draws in the world. Her other notable films include Random Harvest, 1942, with Ronald Colman, Madame Curie, 1943, Mrs. Parkington, 1944, The Valley of Decision, 1945, and That Forsyte Woman, 1949. She often portrayed noble, intelligent women who brought depth and emotional power to roles that could easily have been sentimental or idealized in lesser hands. In 1949, Garson married E. Buddy Fogelson, a Texas oilman and rancher. She gradually stepped away from Hollywood life, relocating to his ranch near Dallas. Though she made fewer films in later years, she continued to act in select projects, such as Sunrise at Campobello, 1960, where she portrayed Eleanor Roosevelt, earning yet another Oscar nomination. Garson was known off-screen for her elegance, intellect, and philanthropy. She supported education, the arts, and wildlife causes throughout her life. The Greer Garson Theater at Southern Methodist University and the Greer Garson Research Institute in Dallas are testaments to her enduring generosity and cultural influence. She passed away on April 6, 1996, at the age of 91, in Dallas, Texas. Greer Garson's legacy endures as that of a quintessential lady of cinema, an actress whose grace and moral strength reflected not just the spirit of her era but timeless human virtues. She remains a shining symbol of the golden age of Hollywood, admired for her intelligence, emotional depth, and the quiet courage that defined both her roles and her life. Greer Garson's career represents one of the most remarkable success stories in classic Hollywood, a blend of refined artistry, discipline, and innate charisma that defined an era of film history. After her early stage work in London with the Birmingham Repertory Theatre, Garson's talent quickly caught the eye of film executives. She was signed to Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM, by Louis B. Mayer, who saw in her a rare sophistication and intelligence that could appeal to both American and British audiences. MGM carefully crafted her image as the ideal Englishwoman, gracious, composed, and noble, a characterization that would become her trademark during World War II. Her role in Goodbye, Mr. Chips, 1939, made her an instant star, but it was Mrs. Miniver, 1942, that elevated her to iconic status. The film became a cultural touchstone during the war, credited with strengthening American support for Britain before the U.S. entered the conflict. Garson's portrayal of a calm, resolute wife and mother in wartime England resonated deeply with audiences on both sides of the Atlantic. Winston Churchill reportedly said that Mrs. Miniver did more for the Allied cause than a flotilla of destroyers. Following Mrs. Miniver, Garson's career flourished. Her performance in Random Harvest, 1942, opposite Ronald Colman, showcased her emotional range, a story of love and memory that became one of MGM's biggest hits. She was equally compelling in Madame Curie, 1943. Playing the pioneering scientist Marie Curie alongside Walter Pidgeon, her frequent co-star and one of her closest friends in Hollywood. Their on-screen chemistry was so admired that they were paired in 7 films together. In Mrs. Parkington, 1944, and The Valley of Decision, 1945, Garson continued to play women of intelligence and integrity navigating complex social circumstances. Her ability to convey depth of feeling with subtle restraint, through tone, gesture, and expression, distinguished her from many contemporaries. She was not a showy actress but one whose presence filled the screen with quiet strength. By the late 1940s, however, Garson's popularity began to wane. Changing audience tastes and the post-war shift toward more naturalistic acting styles made her genteel image seem somewhat dated. Nonetheless, she remained a respected figure in Hollywood, admired for her professionalism, humility, and enduring grace. Garson's later performances demonstrated her continued commitment to challenging roles. In Sunrise at Campobello, 1960, she portrayed Eleanor Roosevelt, bringing warmth and humanity to the role of the First Lady. The performance earned her a 7th Oscar nomination, tying her with Bette Davis and Katharine Hepburn at the time for the most nominations by an actress. Away from the screen, Garson lived a life of elegance and purpose. After marrying E. Fogelson, she found happiness in Texas, becoming deeply involved in philanthropy. She supported numerous causes related to education, healthcare, and the arts. She endowed scholarships, funded a research institute for cancer treatment, and supported theater programs, reflecting her lifelong belief in the transformative power of art and learning. Even in her later years, Garson remained connected to her fans and the film industry. She made occasional television appearances and was honored by organizations celebrating Hollywood's golden age. Her final screen appearance came in 1982 in the television movie A Man Called Peter. Greer Garson passed away peacefully in 1996, leaving behind a legacy of refinement, intelligence, and timeless artistry. She remains one of the most Oscar-nominated actresses in history and a symbol of the dignified strength that defined classic Hollywood heroines. To this day, her name evokes a kind of cinematic grace that few have matched, the embodiment of poise, compassion, and moral courage that transcends time and place. Greer Garson's legacy extends far beyond her filmography. She became an enduring symbol of integrity, intellect, and artistry in both the cinematic and cultural realms. Her career, marked by precision and emotional honesty, made her one of the defining figures of the 1940s. While her off-screen life reflected the same principles of dignity and purpose that characterized her greatest roles. Awards and honors throughout her illustrious career. Garson received 7 Academy Award nominations for Best Actress, an extraordinary feat that placed her among Hollywood's most decorated performers. Her nominations came for Goodbye, Mr. Chips, 1939, Mrs. Miniver, 1942, winner Madame Curie, 1943, Mrs. Parkington, 1944, The Valley of Decision, 1945, Blossoms in the Dust, 1941, Sunrise at Campobello, 1960. This series of nominations, 6 within a single decade, cemented her reputation as one of MGM's crown jewels and one of the most consistently acclaimed actresses of her generation. In addition to her Oscar recognition, Garson won a Golden Globe for Sunrise at Campobello and received the Cecil B. DeMille Award for Lifetime Achievement. She was also made a Commander of the Order of the British Empire, CBE, by Queen Elizabeth II in recognition of her contributions to the arts and philanthropy. Cultural influence and style. Greer Garson's screen presence epitomized the refinement of the wartime and post-war eras. Unlike many of her contemporaries who relied on glamour or melodrama, Garson projected intelligence, serenity, and empathy. Her characters were often women of principle, wives, scientists, or mothers, who demonstrated quiet heroism rather than theatrical emotion. This image resonated deeply during World War II, when audiences sought reassurance and moral steadiness amid global uncertainty. She became, in many ways, the embodiment of the ideal woman of her time, elegant yet compassionate, strong yet tender. Her ability to convey deep emotion through restraint made her performances timeless. Critics often praised her diction, composure, and grace, calling her a lady both on and off the screen. Fashion and culture magazines of the 1940s frequently highlighted Garson's sophisticated sense of style. She favored classic, understated designs that reflected her personality, dignified and confident, without ostentation. Her red hair and striking green eyes became part of her trademark image, symbolizing both warmth and distinction. Philanthropy and personal life. Away from the film studios, Garson led a rich and meaningful life. Her marriage to Buddy Fogelson, a successful Texas oilman and rancher, was her third and happiest union. The couple settled on their Forked Lightning Ranch near Santa Fe, New Mexico, and later moved to Dallas. They shared a love of nature, horses, and community service. Garson and Fogelson became major philanthropists in Texas, donating millions to education, medicine, and the arts. Their generosity helped establish the Greer Garson Theater at Southern Methodist University and the Greer Garson Research Institute at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center, both of which continue to serve as important centers for art and science. Garson believed deeply in giving back to society, particularly in fostering opportunities for young people. "I've been fortunate," she once said. "The least I can do is try to help others find their own direction." Later years and legacy. Even in her later years, Greer Garson remained admired as one of Hollywood's true ladies, gracious, wise, and quietly commanding. Her final screen appearance came in the early 1980s, but she continued to receive tributes from film institutions, critics, and fans around the world. When she passed away in April 1996 at the age of 91, tributes poured in from across the entertainment industry. Many remembered her not only as an actress of immense talent but also as a person of rare integrity and warmth. The Los Angeles Times aptly described her as the actress who defined decency on screen. Today, Greer Garson stands among the pantheon of classic Hollywood legends. Her films, particularly Mrs. Miniver and Random Harvest, remain enduring examples of intelligent, emotionally resonant storytelling. Beyond the screen, her humanitarian spirit and quiet strength continue to inspire generations. She was not merely a star of her time, she was a standard of grace for all time. Personality and character. Greer Garson was widely regarded as one of Hollywood's most intelligent and articulate actresses. Unlike many stars of the Golden Age, She was never content to rely solely on beauty. She valued education, thoughtful conversation, and cultural pursuits. Her background in literature and languages contributed to her precise diction and her ability to interpret complex roles with depth. Colleagues described her as gracious, humble, and disciplined. She was known for her professionalism on set, often arriving early, thoroughly prepared, and fully engaged with her co-stars and directors. Despite her fame, she avoided gossip and drama, preferring a quiet life and meaningful friendships. This discretion and dignity enhanced her public image as the epitome of the lady actress, someone whose charm was as much about her mind as her appearance. Relationships and collaborations. Greer Garson's professional and personal relationships played a central role in her life and career. Walter Pidgeon, perhaps her most famous co-star. Pidgeon and Garson were paired in 7 films, including Mrs. Miniver and Madame Curie. Their on-screen chemistry was celebrated, and off-screen they maintained a lifelong friendship characterized by mutual respect. Their collaborations were considered some of MGM's most reliable successes. Marriages. Garson was married 3 times, though her marriage to Buddy Fogelson was the most enduring and significant. Their life together at his Texas ranch allowed her to step away from Hollywood while remaining intellectually and socially active. They shared a love of horses, philanthropy, and quiet, cultured living. Friendships. She cultivated close friendships with other leading ladies of her era, including Greta Garbo, Joan Crawford, and Katharine Hepburn. Though she maintained her independence and often avoided Hollywood politics, colleagues noted her warmth, generosity, and loyalty, traits that extended beyond the professional sphere. Public image in Hollywood. Greer Garson's public image was meticulously shaped by MGM, but it was also supported by her own comportment. She represented refinement, intelligence, and moral integrity, standing in contrast to the more flamboyant or scandal-prone stars of her time. Her roles often reinforced this persona. She played strong, capable women who inspired admiration rather than envy. During World War II, Garson became an unofficial ambassador for British courage and resilience. Her image in Mrs. Miniver, a steadfast, loving housewife facing adversity, struck a chord not only in America but internationally, enhancing her reputation as a woman of dignity and compassion. She was often called upon for war-related morale events and charity efforts, further cementing her status as a role model. Off-screen interests and hobbies. Beyond acting and philanthropy, Garson had a wide range of personal interests. Literature. She remained an avid reader throughout her life, particularly enjoying poetry and classic English literature. Nature and ranch life. Living on her husband's ranch allowed her to pursue equestrian activities and immerse herself in the outdoors. Arts and culture. Garson supported theater productions, art exhibitions, and educational programs, often attending premieres and cultural events even after leaving Hollywood. Her lifestyle reflected the same elegance and balance seen in her films, a mixture of intellect, beauty, and quiet achievement. Legacy of character. While Greer Garson's acting talent earned her fame and accolades, her character, intelligence, and integrity ensured her enduring respect. She left a legacy not only of film but of example, a life that harmonized artistry, personal values, and meaningful contributions to society. She proved that true stardom need not be synonymous with scandal, and that an actress could be celebrated for both her mind and her presence. Garson's life story resonates today because it reflects timeless qualities: grace, resilience, compassion, and the pursuit of excellence. She remains a model for actors, philanthropists, and anyone striving to combine professional success with personal integrity. career trajectory and evolution. Greer Garson's rise to stardom was carefully orchestrated but undeniably fueled by her talent. Her career can be divided into several distinct phases. Early years and discovery, 1932 to 1938. Before Hollywood, Garson worked in theatre and advertising in London. Her stage experience with the Birmingham Repertory Theatre helped refine her voice, poise, and emotional expressiveness. MGM discovered her in 1938, recognizing her refined demeanor and intellect as ideal for a leading lady who could appeal to both American and British audiences. Breakthrough in wartime stardom, 1939 to 1945, Goodbye, Mr. Chips, 1939, marked her breakout, immediately earning her an Oscar nomination. This period saw Garson become MGM's symbol of grace and dignity. Films like Mrs. Miniver, 1942, and Random Harvest, 1942, solidified her as a box office powerhouse. She became synonymous with roles that emphasized moral strength, compassion, and quiet heroism, qualities that resonated deeply during World War II. Golden Age success and mature roles, 1945 to 1950. After the war, Garson continued to star in high-profile MGM films such as The Valley of Decision, 1945, and That Forsyte Woman, 1949. These roles showed her ability to portray complex women navigating personal and societal challenges. While her image remained somewhat traditional, she demonstrated nuanced acting that distinguished her from contemporaries. Later career and selective appearances, 1950 to 1960s. In the 1950s, Garson began reducing her workload, partially to focus on her personal life and marriage. She appeared in fewer films but continued to select challenging projects, such as Sunrise at Campobello, 1960. In which she portrayed Eleanor Roosevelt with emotional depth and sophistication, earning yet another Oscar nomination. Final screen work and retirement, 1960s–1980s. By the 1960s, Garson had mostly retired from cinema, though she occasionally appeared on television. Her last credited film work came in the early 1980s. Even in retirement, she remained a revered figure, often sought for interviews, retrospectives, and honors celebrating classic Hollywood. Impact on Hollywood and cinema. Greer Garson's influence on Hollywood extends beyond her performances. The archetype of the intelligent leading lady, she redefined the Hollywood heroine as a woman of intellect, dignity, and emotional depth, contrasting with the more glamorous or overtly seductive images of other stars. Role model during wartime, her portrayal of steadfast, morally upright women helped boost public morale during World War II, both in the U.S. and abroad. Legacy and acting style. Garson's restrained, nuanced acting style became a benchmark for dramatic performance in classical cinema. Critics often cited her ability to convey inner life through subtle gestures, vocal inflections, and facial expressions. Collaboration with Walter Pidgeon. Their 7 on-screen pairings remain celebrated examples of enduring cinematic chemistry, influencing how studios approached co-starring vehicles for romantic dramas. Cultural legacy. Garson's impact went.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.